Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Come to you live from the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Saloon for April 23rd, 2022, which hosts the Speaker 2448 and Rampant Epsilon.
Hello.
We get to talk about release dates for like 3 things.
Well, I mean, the title already tells one of those.
It tells 2 of those.
Well, yeah. I consider it one because really it's more of a, we swapped it?
Yeah.
Even though Splat 3 never officially had a release date.
Isn't this like the second trailer we've gotten for Splatoon 3?
I think so.
Because I was like, we haven't gotten to look at Splatoon 3 that much.
Might be the third. It's second or third, though.
Yeah, I think it's third because we had the initial reveal. I think we had like a little multiplayer thing when they had this one again.
Yeah.
Or no, we had
we had the teaser to begin with, and then the actual trailer, and now this.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But yeah, we got that and other stuff, including the last one that I'm like, what? Okay, sure. But first, tell me, what have you been playing the last couple of weeks or so?
Well, one of the things that has been eating up a lot of my free time has been, I've been playing Star Citizen.
Is that the game with all the ships and stuff that you buy with real money? Or is that a different one?
That you can buy with real money.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You don't have to, kind of deal. And yes, it's honestly really good, even though my computer still is kind of struggling with like the cities part of it.
Yeah.
But altogether, it's playable enough to be fine, kind of deal.
I think I saw someone do a couple videos with it. It looked very janky.
Then again, it could just be a case of computer. Keep that in mind too.
They had a top of the line rig, and it still looked janky at times.
According to one of the benchmark things that I checked, technically I'm supposed to have one of the higher end stuff too, and it no, it don't play nice. I think it's optimization errors, kind of deal.
It's what I figured when I was looking at it. I'm like, this is not optimized very well.
But at the same time, it's kind of a case of it's more of an alpha concept. So it's not a case of you're getting final thing kind of deal. It being work in progress, I'm like, okay, yeah, jank stuff I'm sure will get fixed over time. But I mean, to be fair, you saying about that, looking at just to kind of get started in it, $45. It's not really any worse to get started in the game, kind of deal.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, obviously, you can be that dumb person, because I do have it pulled up here. You can be that dumb person if you're willing to spend $1,100 on the game. You can.
I was about to say, I remember going down a rabbit hole of like the history of the development of Star Citizen and just showing that like, yeah, they keep throwing out these stupid expensive ships and not doing a whole lot for the game itself. It's like, that's not a good sign. Because this game is still in beta, right?
I think it's technically alpha, if I'm not mistaken.
So even further, not done.
It's one of those, as extensive as it is, kind of deal. And the simple fact that you not only have the ship stuff, but you also have ground to ground stuff as well. It's one of those, it's like, yeah. There's room for improvement. It's a case of, will that happen? Also, just to put it into perspective, the PC requirements for it, I'm actually above every bit of it, kind of deal. And it still has problems in city. Now in space, not a problem. But yeah.
Anything else?
Outside of that, no.
I've continued to chip away at SMT Crossfire Emblem and the Xenoblade. But I detoured because you know how I told you that there were 13 Sentinels was like cheap on Amazon?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I picked it up. I've been playing a bunch of it. It feels weird because it's like, apparently it's like 2/3 visual novel, 1/3 RTS, and the RTS stuff is not that difficult. So you end up doing a lot more visual novel stuff than RTS, and I'm just gonna tell anyone right now, if you're looking to pick up this game, be prepared to go, wait, what's happening? And be like going back through stuff, because this game is told out of order, because you're playing through the stories of like these different characters that are connected to these giant robots in different eras in time. And every character, you're starting from a specific point in the story and going forward with them. But you're not necessarily going like straight forward. You might jump a thing every now and again. And everyone's at different points in the story. So you're more or less trying to go, okay, wait, where the fuck is this in the story? Thankfully, there is a timeline thing that shows you where everything is in order. But you only see that after you get through a story segment. But it's been good so far. I've really enjoyed it. It's a Villanova White game. It's pretty good. They do really good stuff. I have tried to let my wizard get knocked out by Shocker, because I got wizard again on my Tamagotchi, and he's still here. I don't know why. He should be gone by now, and he won't leave. Yeah, I think I finally got him to leave. Apparently I had to hit a button to make him leave.
Nah.
Yeah, now Shocker's taking over. I did get V3 and got him to evolve in Rider Man. But I still haven't gotten any of my favorite riders at all. I still have not gotten a double or stronger to tackle or like anything else. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. But yeah, besides that, I got all of the gold, silver, crystal art of the Pokemon Adventures manga in, finally.
And?
The first 3 I got in the other day, so I haven't got a chance to sit down and start reading it all. But, folks, if you're looking for a very good Pokemon story, Pokemon Adventures is very good across the board. So, like, the next week or so, I should start chipping away at that. But it's 7 books, and they are... I'm trying to see if it's on it. Hold on real quick. Probably around like 200 pages each. And this is about the standard size for like one of the regular games. Like the remake ones are a lot shorter because they only cover like kind of the new content and just kind of like do something a little bit more original. But yeah, I can't wait to sit down and go through it. Besides that, this got posted in the SodaPop Discord today, and I was just like, don't show me something like this. I want to see more of it. I want to see more of this, whatever the fuck this is. I assume this is bootleg as fuck.
I don't see anything.
Oh, I put it in the articles list.
Oh.
My bad.
That would have been good to have done.
My bad.
I guess since you put it in the articles list. Was it? Yeah.
Because it's a...
Yeah.
It's an Ichigo Mario that they've clearly painted because mustache and all that. But also, that's a GBA in replacement for the Typhoon. And then you have the Shocker Grunt Goombas, and then you have... Fucking I forget his name. As a blooper. Which makes sense. I'm like, is there more of these?
I hope so.
I do too, because I'm like, okay, so presumably Luigi is Nigo. But like, what is Yoshi? Is Yoshi the bike?
No,
Is
they couldn't do
Yoshi's
that.
Like Yoshi bike, Donkey Kong, I guess Amazon, Princess Peach and Daisy, I guess, I don't know, one of them gets to be Tackles, one of them, I don't know, gets to be a repaint of Tackle if it's all Showa stuff. Because we don't have a whole lot to go off of there. But yeah, I might look into this and see what I can pick up. Besides that, not much else. So, shall we get into the news for the week?
I mean, I guess we shall.
Alright then, first up, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 got its second trailer. It's only second trailer. And they decided, hey, by the way, the release date's moved up.
Yeah, by the way, remember that release date for Splatoon? Yeah, what if that was this?
Yeah. Yeah, instead of coming out in September, Xenoblade 3 is now coming out July 29th. Remember that date? We'll be talking about it later again. For a third game. But yeah, this trailer actually showed off all the combat stuff and a little bit more story stuff. And the combat, they decided, hey, you know how people keep talking about how the Switch is like, you know, they need to upgrade it to a Switch Pro because, you know, that's not, we need more performance. Monolith went, hey, what if we had up to 8 party members active on the field at the same time, along with enemies of various different sizes, all doing combat. And just roast your Switch alive with how much we're throwing on screen because the game continues to look gorgeous. I feel like Monolith Soft knows what the fuck they're doing with the Switch to like pull every ounce of performance they can out of this damn thing. Because I will also remind you, they worked on Breath of the Wild. They helped actually make the open world stuff for Breath of the Wild, and they worked on something else that's on the Switch that's not from them. I don't remember what it is. Yeah, it's neat. It looks cool. I get 3 months now to finish up Xenoblade 1 before I play Xenoblade 3. Yay! But as Tommy said, Splatoon 3, now instead of presumably coming out in July, it is now dated for September. And we had a new... I don't know if I want to call this a trailer, because it's not really a trailer, it's just a highlight reel of a match.
Teaser? Ish?
I mean, it's just gameplay. I don't even want to call it a teaser, I'm just like, this is just straight up gameplay. This is just, hey, we did a match in the office. Let's just cut that together into a trailer and call it a day. But I don't think this showed off anything super new that we haven't seen before. Like, I think all the supers and guns and stuff shown in this is the same stuff we've seen and talked about. So I guess they're keeping us out of the loop of story stuff and anything else to come. Yeah, any thoughts on either of these?
No.
All right then. Next up. Oh, no, that's not the button. That's the button. So you know how Halo Infinite was supposed to have this Battle Royale mode for like an eternity?
And how it now does in Season 2.
Yep. We are finally getting a Battle Royale mode.
Oh. Well then, also, pardon me as I do too, because I get to add an article in there that apparently you missed.
Oh.
So go ahead, and I will be adding it in.
Alright. But yeah, Waypoint article talking about the new modes they're throwing in. King of the Hill, land grab. But the important thing is Last Spartan Standing. It's not as extensive as you think it is, folks. More or less, it's a free-for-all 12-player on big team battle maps with a confined loadout words and 5 respawns per character. So once you're out of respawns, you're out. They can either spectate or leave without a penalty. If they get a kill, they can upgrade to a different weapon, which means it's Escalation Slayer rules, and that's all that they have detailed at the moment.
Also, full on adding it right next in line because, yeah.
Alright.
Didn't catch this. When you said about Halo Infinite, it triggered it, and I was like, oh yeah, this one's not in there. Hold on.
But yeah, this is a part of their big, like, Season 2 rollout, dubbed the Lone Wolves, that goes from May 3rd to November 7th.
And has the slowest progression as Season 1.
Yep. We're getting 2 new maps, those 3 new modes. We're getting the Interference Alpha Pack as narrative events, or Interference and Alpha Packs as narrative events. I think that just means skins and stuff.
Probably.
New battle passes, a new event thing called Entrenched, campaign network co-op with the latest target of August, so still a ways off. Campaign mission replay is dated for August as well. Forge Open Beta is dated for September, and some quality of life improvements. They have noted some stuff for Season 3. That is looking like we were now supposed to get campaign, script, split screen, and co-op, but it is still to be determined on that. But it should come in Season 3. Eventually, maybe. Oh, Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite.
I mean, I'm just...
Nothing is... Yeah,
story was fine.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that was the best answer they could have done to 5.
Mm-hmm. Just soft reboot the game and just quietly don't say anything about it?
Yeah. Just be like, look, we know that was a screw up. We got this? Question mark? The problem I've got more with the campaign is it feels too slow because they didn't do as much with the open world.
Yeah.
But campaign-wise, I'm fine with it. It not having the multiplayer thing is what's kind of killing it for me.
Speaking of Halo, have you seen the latest episode of the Halo show?
Yes.
I love how everyone says, this show got good! Mainly because of a 10-minute, like, fight scene tacked on at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
I mean, quad stuff still sucks. I'm sorry, it still sucks.
If we don't route her back into the main part of the plot relatively soon, I'm going to be questioning why that was even a thing. Why did we need this little offshoot?
Why do we need this small child who will not stop complaining about shit?
I mean, why? The bigger thing is, why do we have to keep following up? I get using it as the plot point from Chief's point of view. Treating everything pertaining with her character from Chief's point of view. I don't get why we're still following. I mean, she's legitimately going on a suicide mission here. What's there to follow? It's one of those, it's like, from a storytelling perspective, if her arc doesn't quickly tie back into the main in some way, then it's going to be like, yeah, that it's going to be a point of any time you see her on screen, fast forward, and that's the only thing that's going to make it even better.
Yeah.
At least everything with everyone else is kind of all pertaining towards the same end goal. And I'm like, I can get behind the show for that at least.
I did find out something interesting about the show.
Okay.
Guess how many seasons they have planned for this show?
Probably far too many.
7 to 8 seasons, apparently. So, I'm willing to bet I can call the format of the show now. So, this entire season is going to run pretty much to the Fall Reach, and the final episode will end with a teaser for Halo. Specifically, Halo 1.
Uh-huh.
Season 2 will be the first half of Halo 1, leading to the end of the season where we tease the Flood. And then Season 3 will be dealing with the Flood and blowing up the ring. And then Season 4 will be a break season as we follow Chief back to Earth or fucking wherever he goes in First Strike. I don't remember. It'll pretty much be his First Strike. And then Season 5 will be half of Halo 2. And then Season 6 will be the other half of Halo 2. And then Season 7 will probably be just straight up Halo 3 for a half. And then 8 will be half for the other half of Halo 3. Maybe they'll throw in a break season between 2 and 3. Fucking, I don't know. But I have a feeling that's what they're doing.
Minor flaw in that.
What?
I agree with the idea.
Mm-hmm.
Except for we've been introduced to Brute a little earlier than I would have expected. And
True.
by a Brute, I mean possibly Tartarus. He
That's
was
the
never
speculation.
named.
Yeah.
But seeing as how that's the only Brute that you usually associate with having a hammer. Yeah. And if that's the case, then I feel like we've got maybe something wrong going on here, and that might be just enough to throw it out of whack.
Yeah, I'm sure there will be differences in there, but I feel like the general format is that.
I'm thinking you're possibly right on at least storytelling flow.
Yeah.
Probably wrong with certain events we see, though.
I'm sure.
I have a funny feeling the planet that's gonna be last isn't gonna be Reach. There's a reason they're pouring so much interest into Madrigal.
Oh, the glass madrigal.
Yep. That will take the place of Reach.
I'd ask why, but fucking... I guess it's to make Quan's story important, I guess.
That's the only thing I can think of at that point.
Yay, we get to see... Yay, Madrigal gets glass. Woo!
Maybe that... to also bring in a little bit of a plot factor from 4. Because, yes, Halsey's Spartans were stolen, broken kids kind of deal. But Spartans beyond that program actually volunteered for it.
Yeah.
So why do I get the feeling we're ramping her up to volunteer to be a Spartan?
Oh, fuck. That's not gonna help!
To then proceed to go forward.
We're gonna make her a Spartan 3. That's not gonna help.
And possibly see that program start... probably because Miranda, if I had to guess. Because it feels like that's gonna be that tension going there.
I love how much these two people do not like each other, but yet do not want to talk to each other and have a conversation at all, apparently.
It's one of those... I feel like the games are gonna be the pattern for what we see events roll into. But because of the certain things they're already focusing on, I think that's gonna be the key factors that are gonna change. And it wouldn't surprise me if they didn't try to still route the follow Reach into it at some point. And maybe Reach is where the first ring is. Because technically that was not the case in CE.
True. Granted, you'd think they would spot the big floating thing in their orbit.
You would think. But I get the funny feeling it's going to be something stupid like... No, I know what it'll be. They'll blend. It'll be like the second ring that we deal with in the games. How it gets warped into Earth's orbit.
Oh, fuck.
From the arc.
Of course.
Yep. Yep, that's exactly what's gonna happen. I see it.
Look, I am not willing to say that the show is somehow good because of one good fight scene. No, it's still not that particularly good. I'm sorry. Two fight scenes does not equal a good show.
In my opinion, it's really not bad if you could take the Quan stuff out.
Yeah,
like
it's...
right now it feels pointless. It almost feels like everything we've done with her could be done like shortly before she rejoins Chief and whatever her actual plot is gonna be. And kind of have it as a one episode, here is what happened between when he left her and now concept.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, that's essentially a filler episode. Would it work better? Yes.
Honestly, I feel like this would be better if we weren't actively trying to deal with the Covenant in this show. I mean, I assume, because fucking hell do we not deal with the Covenant for 90% of the show? And they are the main bad guys of the show, right? Because it doesn't feel like it.
No, not at all.
It feels like the UNSC are more of the bad guys of the show, which is not the look I was expecting. And not very helpful.
Also, the problems with Ease and Halsey being a thing, I think is what's amplifying that.
God, yeah, just fucking bury your goddamn hatchet, please. I am tired of you circle strafing each other in this argument that neither one of you want to have.
Oh, I'm not meaning Miranda. I'm meaning the fact that Captain Keyes and Halsey are a thing.
Oh, yeah, that too, yeah.
I think that's where the problems are coming from. Why? Why did that have to be that way?
Because that is accurate to the books.
Okay. And is never referenced in the games. Meaning it could just as easily be, oh, well, what was that? Oh, yeah, right. And move on. I mean,
yeah. I also love how this episode started with, we're gonna let Miranda do stuff, and the episode almost ended with, we're not gonna let Miranda do stuff. Like, I fucking... Either she gets to do stuff, or she doesn't. Don't do both in the same episode.
I mean... I kind of get the idea, because she didn't know what was going on with, you know, all of Halsey's spring games.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like that would be the thing, not really to force her away from it kind of deal. Because I feel like it's known well enough that Halsey's going to do whatever she wants to, so I would have to think that this would, you know, send up red flags being like, wait a minute, what are you hiding? I will do digging.
Yeah, this might be the better episode, one of the best episodes. Also because apparently it was shorter. It did not feel shorter. Apparently it was like a half hour as compared to the hours. I didn't look. Because it sure as fuck didn't feel like it.
No, that can't be right.
What?
That it was that short?
It's what I heard in a review.
That can't be right. That don't feel right.
I feel like I'm being gaslit because it sure as fuck didn't feel like it was a half hour.
That don't feel right at all.
I mean, IMDb says it's an hour. I don't know. I don't have the episode anymore, so fucking I can't look. Hang on.
If I go to try to look, then I'm gonna have a problem. Because it may not try to play music, people. So 1 second.
I got a way of looking. Hang on.
As I click every wrong tab. Button. It actually says it was a 40-minute episode.
I'll be damned. I assume the episode before that's like an hour.
I can't go without sitting through an ad, and I refuse to sit through another ad because I'm not watching the show at the moment.
Alright, hang on. I think I can look real quick. I hope. Yeah, it's about an hour. It's like 58, 57.
Question.
What?
How long was the first episode?
Bep, bep. Takes me a minute to find a source for it. $53.37.
Okay, well that rules that out. I was gonna say, wait a minute. If we're getting shorter episodes when we wind up having a fight scene, then there's a problem.
I want to call foul on them saying they're spending $10 million an episode. It does not feel like they're spending $10 million a fucking episode. I call foul. You were spending $10 million on the cheap episodes with no action. You were spending way more on the ones with action scenes.
I don't even believe they're spending that much, though.
Fair, because I
almost feel like most of the interior UNSC stuff is more than likely green screen stuff. There's too many working parts for it to be an actual full-on set. Some of it might be full-on, but I have to feel like a lot of that's green screen. Which, yeah, would be racking up a cost, but I don't feel like it'd be that much.
I've seen it compared to like cheap sci-fi movies on the Sci-Fi Channel, and like I've seen some of those movies. Yeah, no, this feels about right. This feels about something you'd find on Sci-Fi. Outside of all the butt shots. Which, surprisingly, this episode, no butt shot. So there isn't a butt shot quota they have to meet.
They'll double down on it next week, though.
Yeah, because they doubled down on it last week.
Oh, well, see, right, you're right. That's where it was. They have to do so many for the entire season, and it equates to about one per show.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just the show is fine, but it isn't.
As long as the next butt shot is not one of the prophets, we're good.
You know, that might make the show better, if I'm being honest.
It would at least make it funnier.
Yes. We could use a little bit more humor in this show, if I'm being honest.
No, Chief's so serious. You gotta be serious. Can't have any fun. Except for, I love the snarky comments that we're getting from Cortana. Is it bad that she's the only character that actually feels spot on?
Well, she is being paid by Jennifer Lawrence, who is Cortana's normal voice actor. So it's just another payday for her. It's just another day in the office. Like,
yeah, but I mean, okay, even voicing is one. Voicing's one thing. Having the right writing and the voicing is all the better. And I feel like they've actually even wrote Cortana right.
I think it's because Cortana's probably the most fleshed out character they have going into this show.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
Like, Me saying Cortana is probably the best written character probably only comes second to Halsey, because I feel like Halsey's pretty spot on too. But I also feel like some of the things that we've seen so far doesn't quite match up properly. And it's like, okay, you're taking some liberties here. But yeah.
It's fine until it catastrophically fucks up, and I can't wait for it to catastrophically fuck up. Because I'm like, it's gonna do something real stupid. Everyone's gonna be mad about it, and I'm gonna laugh my ass off because, damn, y'all got invested in the show. I'm not that invested. I'm watching this to have a conversation about it because I know we are one real bad episode from this show just imploding.
I mean, at the very least, it's not as boring as Ghost was for some of it.
Fair.
And I've not found a character that I hate like we did in Kabuto. So I could probably deal with this show.
Yeah. Did I tell you that someone told me that my thoughts on Kabuto are a hot take?
Yeah.
Like a spicy hot take?
Yeah.
Because I just told them, it's like, I despise most of the cast, especially Tendo. I'm like, I did not mince words when they were like, why do you not like Kabuto? It's like, I despise most of that cast. I'm sorry, when we have Tendo but rich, guy they refuse to not throw in the dumpster every other episode. Whoever the fuck Zabi was, because I don't remember. Drake, probably the most decent person on that show. His small child. The girl at the restaurant that gave Tendo shit all the time, which made me love her because people need to give Tendo more shit in that show.
Yes.
Zect and their absolute incompetence, and the worms that were nothing 30 episodes in the series. Fucking who am I supposed to like?
Which is 10 more episodes in the series than we went on the show.
I thought we went into the 30s.
No, you went into the 30s.
Oh, okay.
We stopped around 18, if I'm not mistaken. 18 or 20. I can't remember how many we were doing at the time then. But it was low. And then you got the wild idea too. Well, I'm gonna watch a little bit more.
I must find the good in this show, because I'm trying to figure out why people like this stupid show. Okay, yeah, it says 1 through 8. Okay.
Yeah.
I gaslit myself on this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought we made it deeper in that show. No, we barely made it. We made it like halfway through that show, and we fucked off. Damn.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, no, you went farther. We stopped.
Yeah. Fuck. Like if you like the show, whatever. I ain't gonna fucking fight you about that. But like, if someone is willing to make a several-hour deep dive into Kabuto and explain why they think the show is good, I will watch that. It will not sway my opinion about the show and make me watch the goddamn show ever again, because that show can burn in hell. But I will watch your multi-hour review of it. Anywho, shall we talk about the thing you pulled up?
Mm-hmm.
So, Rocket League is also getting a Battle Royale mode. How the fuck does this work?
It sounds interesting. And we may or may not try it Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And hint, nudge, nudge, by the way.
Hmm.
But yeah, basically 8-player free-for-all kind of concept. You have triple jump and various other abilities. I know it showed off like a shield and
You have a counter. You just straight up have a counter. Yeah. And it looks like you can like yoink people and then throw them.
I believe that's one of the abilities, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. With the goal of basically knocking them out of the arena.
Oh, I was about to say, the trailer just shows them knocked into all these big spiky pillars.
I mean, that, plus it also showed getting knocked like off the arena and you could fly back on kind of deal.
Yeah, I see that.
Basically, it is Demolition Derby meets what if we had a circle that closed in on you?
So that sounds about right.
So, I'm kind of actually interested in that. When I first saw an article saying about Rocket League getting a Battle Royale, I was like, wait, what? How? What?
How do?
But then once I actually watched the trailer and kind of saw it in action a little bit more, I'm like, this might actually be kind of fun. Especially seeing as how Rumble, I think it is. The one where you've got all the different power-ups.
Yes.
Seeing how they went buck wild with that, I'm like, this might actually be pretty fun.
It looks interesting. I think my least favorite part of this thing right now is I don't care for any of the rewards and stuff attached to the event, if I'm being honest.
I mean, fair.
Except maybe the mystery machine wheels on this one. Because that's the same flower and stuff that's on the side of the mystery machine. And the car is kind of mystery machine colors.
Ooh, yeah.
Like the only thing I really care about.
But yeah. It will be running from the 27th to the 10th. I don't know if we'll try to do it this Wednesday. Since we do have a little bit of wiggle room on it. We might do it next Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
That way that'll give us time if we both wanted to hop in and screw around with it a little bit beforehand, then we could. And it is very possible that I might postpone Halo 3 and us just double down on it.
Fair.
Depends on how I feel with it.
Yeah. Anything else before we move on?
Can't really think of anything pertaining to it then.
Alright, so I believe the game has made a very poor choice. So, for those that don't know, Digimon Survive is this tactical RPG that's been in development for quite a while and has suffered numerous delays and a studio swap at some point. But they finally have a release date after not specifying a release date like a month ago at a major Digimon event where they talked about this exact game. This doesn't sound good. But it is now dated for July 29th, aka the same day Xenoblade 3 or Xenoblade Chronicles 3 comes out.
Yeah.
Guess who just got kneecapped out the gate?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
In their defense, though, they probably were banking on Splatoon 3 being the July game. And Nintendo planning on doing it earlier in the month than that. So, yeah.
I'm going to point out that this release date came out after after Nintendo decided to swap dates. Approximately.
I get the feeling that they already were kind of stuck with it, and we're like, ah, crap.
I believe so
announce it
because
now.
yeah, I believe because technically we knew about the Japanese release date a couple days ago because it was in the V-Jump magazine, stating that in Japan it was releasing on the 28th, I think. But it's since been because I think this date kind of comes from Amazon and like. Because I checked on Amazon, like US, and it was specifically dated for July 29th. So it's definitively coming out July 29th. But yeah, this game's getting kneecapped. And I already have concerns about this game, because like I said, it has been through some development hell. From the sounds of it. And an entire studio swap, and I'm like, I don't know how well this game's going to turn out.
I mean, it's gonna turn out.
Yeah. Because much like 13 Sentinels, it's supposed to be like 2/3 visual novel, 1/3 tactics game. And everything seems fine, but I'm like, okay, you've had some hard development troubles, like, and for some reason you were cagey on a release date like a month ago, but now you're saying it's like 2 months from now, or no, 3 months from now, just out of the blue. Like, why did you not say anything sooner? Granted, I could say the exact same thing to Nintendo about Xenoblade Chronicles 3, but
and
that
we could
game
also say the same thing about Splat 3,
right?
because they said summer.
Right. Those games don't have an admittance of development troubles and a studio swap at some point in development, with no specification on when that developer swap happened. So I'm like, I have concerns. But there's a couple or specifically one Digimon person I follow that's going to be doing this game day one. So we'll see. Here's hoping it's not garbage, because I would like a new good Digimon game, especially a tactics one. But like, I'm sorry, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is gonna be the game I'm going to play on this day. I'm sorry, it's probably gonna be the better game. I hate to break it to you, it's probably gonna be the better game.
I mean, probably.
Anything else?
No.
So, you know how Netflix is like crashing and burning because of all the shit they're pulling?
Uh-huh.
Sony decided to like throw out a thing that they are considering at the exact time all this is happening, and I'm like, Sony, no. I don't know how, but no. So reportedly, they're considering in-game ads for free-to-play titles.
That feels like the smartest dumb move ever.
Yeah, apparently they're looking to do advertising on the menus and loading screens of games, integrating ads into video game worlds, such as through billboards and signposts, and even rewarding players who sit through the commercials with exclusive in-game rewards. They are against the collecting.
That way, I would be fine with it, though.
I can't wait for it to be the same ad for like 3 months.
Because no one buys into it, yeah.
Yeah.
Looking at you, Twitch.
How hard is it to get more people to advertise on your goddamn website? I don't want to see the same ad 20,000 times. I know. Please play something else.
Oh, I mean, it's about like when you watch any YouTube video that has a sponsored ad in the video, and like It's not as bad now, but like there for the longest, everyone was doing it for Raid Shadow Legends. Everyone.
Like, fuck. Our local community college got an ad on Twitch. I'm not joking.
I don't even know how.
I don't know either. It just one day I saw an ad and it was our local community college, and I'm like, what? How? What? When? It's even like YouTube has done localized ads for me because the local dealership keeps popping up in ads for me on YouTube, but the local community college on fucking Twitch, like what? What? When? How? You're not even connected to a major college. When did this happen? But yeah. It's sure fucking milk the money, make infinite money, I guess. I
mean, like I said, if it's only in the menus and, you know, having the ability to choose if you want to watch an ad for something in game, I feel like that's fine for a free-to-play thing.
Yeah.
Now, they start doing something stupid like that in a game that people have actually paid money for, then that's a problem.
Oh, God.
But if it's a free-to-play game to begin with, sure, why not?
Yeah, gotta make that money somehow. Gotta make infinite money. Anywho, last up tonight, so you know how we're getting in a Takes Two movie?
No, I didn't.
Well, we're getting in a Takes Two movie. Would you care to guess the production studio on it?
Oh, dear God.
The production studio behind this is 7 Buck Productions. If you don't know who they are, don't worry. You know one of the people who founded it. Dwayne Dwayneson. So, technically speaking, The Rock is producing a movie adapted from It Takes Two. I don't even. What is life?
You know, on paper, this one actually sounds like a good idea. Now I'm trying to run through my head how they can screw it up.
Yeah.
Because in all seriousness, if you take the story lines and kind of run the game as a movie, it works.
As long as you make the parents less obnoxious. Tone them down a little bit.
I almost think that's partly why it works.
Oh.
Because, you know, they're too self-centered and don't care about their child. And it's like, yeah, I wonder where the problem is. But yeah, it's one of those, I'm like, the game on its own would work for a movie. But how are they gonna screw it up?
Yeah.
Because there's far more game to movie transitions that go horribly bad. And I guess now we also have to add game to TV show because, thanks Halo.
Yeah. I just realized something. I missed something. Somehow. I guess nobody reported on it.
How did you miss something?
I guess because no one reported on it and I forgot to grab it. Let me throw it in here real quick. So,
was it in the thing now?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know how we keep getting emulators and stuff for the Switch Online?
Yeah. How did no one report on that?
I don't know.
So, sorry, I knew exactly what you were talking about.
But yeah, apparently the GB, the Game Boy, and the Game Boy Advance emulators have leaked from something. No one is sure on what. I heard mentions of it's from a specific console, so it was from like a dev kit. Something internally, maybe. I guess I don't know. But
well, someone got fired then.
I would assume so, because yeah. But this is like a dev build of the emulators, and the list of games involved in it is kind of weird. Because if you scroll down to like the like third tweet in line, you get to see what they're calling a list of tested games. They're not games that are going to come out, because we honestly don't fucking know. But these are games that have been tested on this emulator. And some of these are already out on the Switch in other collections. Like both of those Castlevania games, I'm pretty sure are in a collection that's on the Switch right now. So that doesn't make sense.
Okay, but I'm also going to point out Super Mario 64 is in a collection and still made it in there as well.
True.
So it wouldn't surprise me if we see that happen.
But you also have things like Astro Boy, like just an Astro Boy game. Let's see, a Harvest Moon game. Lufia.
Harvest Moon I could understand.
Regular ass Chain of Memories. Do you know how many times they've re-released the original Chain of Memories?
But I can see that, though. Especially with us just getting the cloud versions.
Right, but this would be the first time the GBA version of Chain of Memories has ever been remotely recognized. They have only ever cared about that PS2 reversion of the game. That is a completely different game. Like, most people, I think at this point, think of Chain of Memories as a PS2 title and a GBA title. If I'm being honest. That's where I'm like, wait, what? Square, are you remembering that you actually made this a GBA title? But let's see, what else? Randomly, Battle Network 2, and then one of the Battle Network 5 games for Mega Man, but not the first one, not the other paired game for 5, and nothing between 2 and 5. And then 03, which is also recently in the collection, but also why just 03? And then the one half of the original Rescue Mystery Dungeon team or games, because it's the Red Rescue team, but no blue. In a random Super Robot Wars game, but not one of the games with the licenses, an OG title, which means it doesn't have any like external license, which is a big like what? So yeah, this is a very strange list. A very, very, very strange list. I don't know what to make heads or tails of. Also, apparently Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald are in this list as well. It's not mentioned. But you know what's even nuttier?
What?
There's things in there. There's evidence that there is emulation of link cable trading, like some sort of system to emulate link trading.
I could see it.
Which means that's extra work for these Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, and this GBA or really GBA emulator.
I could see it.
It's so weird. I don't know. I don't know what to make of this.
And you know what's really funny? This is going to come out one of two ways. either one gonna be a legit thing, and it's coming from Nintendo, or two, we're gonna find out that someone homebrewed a Switch and managed to find a way to load VBA link in there, because that would have the link cable functionality and would be Linux based, which is what most people jailbreak and go for.
Also, while I was pulling this up, the same Twitter had an update on the Pokemon Home update that's supposed to include like Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, and Legends Arceus. I found out that there's apparently a problem with Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl in terms of connection to Pokemon Home.
Okay.
Guess what engine the Diamond and Pearl remakes are made in?
Which?
I believe it's made in Unity. Guess what every other Pokemon game in existence is made on?
Not Unity?
An in-house engine of Game Freak's creation. Meaning, in order to transfer the data, they have to figure out how to translate the data from a thing that is not Unity, or a thing that's Unity, to a thing that's not Unity. Oops.
They didn't let them use their in-house engine?
I don't know about that.
Because that would have made it so much easier.
That might have been a studio choice. Apparently, Diamond Pearl remakes had like development troubles, but I've not heard specifics. So who fucking knows? The game was clearly had some issues at launch that they've patched over, just that were exploitable. Not necessarily like the game just couldn't run. It's more just, oh, if you push the wall hard enough, the game kind of crumbles. And oh look, we're outside the world and the void, riding a Bidoof to the Pokemon League. But apparently, this Twitter, which is Centro Leaks, there's no release date on the update. They've made progress on the update, but it's not ready. Pokeballs from Arceus are recognized in Home. Transferring from Arceus to any other game will have it delete its move, will have its moves deleted and replaced with a standard moveset at that level for the Destined game. Same with Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. And Pokemon Go Pokemon can be moved from Sword and Shield, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, and Pokemon Legends Arceus. Which... yeah, Go Pokemon can already go to Sword and Shield, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I have some of my Pokemon Go Pokemon in Sword and Shield. I guess it's just 2 Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, and Arceus. There doesn't seem to be any other limitations. Only that the Pokemon has to exist in the target game. And if it's an alpha, Home just doesn't recognize it as an alpha. It just recognizes it as a standard Pokemon. So all of its like weight and height and all that stuff will just get reset to like proper numbers. And I assume like a lot more math and stuff would have to go on because Legends Arceus doesn't have an EV-IV system. So they would have to invent EV-IVs for all of these Pokemon. Of course, Go Pokemon do have EV-IVs if I recall correctly.
Pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah. So they'd have to figure out the fuck to do with that. Or unless they just come in with blank EV-IVs and you'd have to do whatever with that. But yeah, I saw that when I peeked at their Twitter. But yeah, I blanked on that, even though I was like, oh, that's here, and I saw it talked about in like a couple different discords I was in. Because yeah, that's fairly big, and I'm like, we'll see. It's weird because it's like we have a list of games, but I am not going to in any way, shape, or form say that is the list of games coming to this emulator, even like sometime after launch. Because I don't think this is even a planned list. Because a lot of these games are third party, and Nintendo would need rights and stuff to get those games on here. And like some of them, I'm like, why are you getting them? Because I feel like there's like more involved with some of these than others. Because that Super Robot Wars one, like, there's a push to bring over more Super Robot Wars games to the States. But like, I don't know if this would be a part of that. With like Bandai Namco wanting like, hey, we're gonna put like one of our Super Robot Wars games on like the Switch emulator for Game Boy Advance, because that gets it on, in the eyes of a lot of people, and it's not one of their like mainline titles. It's one of the OG games, so they got to worry about all these extra licenses and stuff with other animes and all that. So fucking, I don't know. We'll see. Anything else before we end off with releases? Yes, no?
Do it. Sorry.
Anything else before we end off with releases?
No.
All right, then. Releases! We've got, kicking off on the 25th, Research and Destroy for Xbox One, Series X, PlayStation 4, 5, and Switch. On the 26th, City Wars Tokyo Rain for Switch. Gas Guzzlers Extreme for PlayStation 5. 27th, Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe for Xbox One, Series X, PlayStation 4, 5, and Switch. Vampire Masquerade Blood Hunt for PS5. On the 28th, my birthday. Yay! I get to be sick for my birthday, because it probably won't pass by then. Joy. Bugsnax for Xbox One, Series X, and Switch. That's a game I'm really wanting to try out, because that's a Paper Mario game in design. It's apparently really good, like classic Paper Mario, and it's on Game Pass. I have not seen a whole lot of else. Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1 for PlayStation 4. The House of the Dead remake for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Stadia. Because got to get a Stadia release in here every like couple months or so.
Yep.
Waifu Impact for PlayStation 4, 5, and Switch. On the 29th, Cardful Planning for Switch. Nintendo Switch Sports for Switch. On the 30th, Overcooked All You Can Eat for Stadia. Golf with Your Friends for Stadia. The Eye of Typhoon Anniversary Edition for 3DO. I assume it's a box re-release. City Legends, The Curse of the Crimson Shadow Collector's Edition for Stadia. How do you have a Collector's Edition for Stadia?
Very carefully.
Doesn't those usually come with like something physical?
No, I mean, it's the digital game. And it comes with a free Chromecast. Yes, I don't know.
Yeah. Delivers Us to the Moon is also coming out on Stadia. We're just gonna skip on down to on the May 5th, Rift Tracks the game for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. And that is pretty much it, folks. There is not a whole lot here. It is some pickings at the moment, because we're out a little bit from the big stuff. So yeah, anything else then?
No.
All right then. Tomorrow, It's the final 5 episodes of Kuga.
Yay.
We get to end the show. Yay! I watched them this morning because I was up early this morning because my sleep schedule's been absolute garbage. It's probably part of the reason why I'm sick. Because I'm just not getting enough sleep. But I watched them and did the notes, so they were all done by it's like 8 o'clock today. Or 8 o'clock in the morning today. So it's like, this is the earliest I've gotten work done for on a Saturday. But yeah, that is tomorrow. Wednesday, I guess we'll be taking a look at this new Rocket League Battle Royale mode.
Possibly. If not, it might be the next one.
Yeah. Thursday, I forgot the 2 games offhand, because I'll be honest, the 2 games I had this week were meh.
It is game and the game.
It is Bike Race and Taiketsu Shadow Moon, which I believe the Bike Race is another one of those top-down racing games, and Taiketsu Shadow Moon is, I want to say that's one of the other NES or SNES side-scrollers. So something more interesting. I'll be honest, I've had more fun with the not fighting games than I have the fighting games, because the fighting games have just not felt that interesting.
Doesn't surprise me.
Also, that game that was a Bomberman clone, it's not really a Bomberman clone. Instead of dropping bombs, you're wielding a mace, and you can increase the damage and range of it, but there's a very, very small problem with that game.
And that is?
All the enemies have ranged attacks.
Yeah, that would be a problem.
You only have a melee attack that only goes so far. Fucking Apollo Geist has a shield throw that goes across an entire row. You have a jump button, but sometimes you can't jump out of the way of this stuff. It's oh my god. And you can jump off the arena and take damage.
Huh.
Yeah. It was not good. Both of the games I played weren't particularly that good this past week. But yeah, that's the next one on the dockets. And then Saturday might be us doing Halo 3, or it might be more Rocket League. Depends. We'll see. But if you like what you're seeing, folks, drop a follow. Really appreciate it. Chip away that Philico at TC's on Twitter gives you updates on life. Next special point, Discord Jack. This is a link. Drop by, say hi. See you tomorrow, folks.